Insights with Terri Ep.121, a weekly look through the eyes of predictive astrologer Terri Ep.121. Here's Terri.
Hi everyone, this is Terri, and you're listening to Insights with Terri Ep.121. We are going to be dealing with the week of May the 21st through the 28th. Thank you for joining me and spending your time with me, a precious gift that I'm very, very grateful for. We still have Taurus, just for maybe a couple more days as I'm recording this in the sun sign. It'll be moving to Gemini on the 22nd, so that's this week. So a transition, any type of transition, can be unsettling or can give us a pause to maybe think about things or just feel a little unsettled. So just be prepared for that maybe the first of this week as we move from Taurus, the strong-minded, security-driven energy, to Gemini, which is, wow, a new book. Wow, how interesting is that subject? So our mind will play a huge role in the next 3 or 4 weeks, wanting new experiences, new energy, new thoughts, mind going 1,000 miles an hour. If you happen to be Gemini or have Gemini energy in your chart, be prepared to have that mind going 1,000 miles an hour with your hair on fire. And if that's the case, how do you rest with this? How do you calm your mind down? I know with my animals that are born during this period, they're thinkers. And they will take advantage of a situation because they're way ahead of me, thinking things through, really quick on the draw. Boredom is the worst thing that can happen to this type of an individual. So make sure that you're interesting, your conversation is interesting, and it doesn't get boring, or you'll lose some attendance. And then Mercury, the planet of how we think, how we process, that is still in Taurus. So that'll give us some grounding there. It'll help us be strong-willed and not quite as air-driven, as Gemini is an air sign and Taurus is an earth sign. So not quite as air-driven as it would be if both of those placements were in Gemini. So right now we do have some grounded quality given to us by Taurus, and we can think the thoughts but not go too far out on a limb. And Venus, the planet of love and beauty, is still in Cancer. That's a nice placement for Venus. It's where we crave being loved and cherished. We crave the loyalty of a one-on-one relationship where we're the significant other in that relationship, and we have one. So that if you don't have a person in your life that is a significant other, you may find you're wanting that. Now, if you want it and it's not there, you can turn to your, I would say, your pets. That give, many pets for many people can give a type of sense of belonging. It can be an outlet for that nurturing feeling that we'd like to express, love something, take care of something, nurture something. So it's, you can groom your dog, you can pet them, you can teach them, you can bring them for excursions that they might enjoy. So that takes that pressure off us wanting to please something, wanting to make some things life nicer. So if you don't have a person, you can migrate it to your pet or friends. Don't be afraid to share that energy with your friends. And Mars, the planet of our drive and our passion, is in Leo, and that happened on the 21st of this month. Now that'll be with us for a little while. Mars in Leo is quite a strong placement. Mars is a fire sign, Leo is a fire sign, so that's a very, very strong forest fire going on here. So it can give us a strong sense of authority and maybe a sense of personal magnetism, or the ability to have that magnetism. If it's healthy, it's good. If your sense of authority is good. I do notice at this time some people that imagine themselves to be right are very firm in their rightness. Maybe need to take a look at how right or wrong they really are. but it's such a strong energy field that sometimes we tend to follow without question because they seem to be so sure that this is the right solution. So you might want to really look at things before you follow the advice or the guidance of people that you're not 100% sure of. It's a very passionate energy field, those two fire signs together. So we will find ourselves feeling maybe passionate about certain things or having a certain passion in certain areas, strong-willed ambition, willing to maybe take some risks. We want to create a long-lasting impression. That's a drive with this type of an energy. Leo the lion roaring. There may be a sense of impatience, so we just might have to keep an eye on that because we want it going. You know how fire is. Let's go, let's go, let's go. And we won't have patience necessarily with people that we feel are narrow-minded or disloyal. So loyalty is going to really be a big driving factor for us. Are our friends loyal? Is our mate loyal? Is our dog loyal? That'll be a big driving factor. I have to say I got mixed up in that myself, in that I've got a number of dogs, and I just noticed that I'm really attached to the ones that just stay beside me, the ones that maybe go off and do some smelling. I've got 43 acres, so they could go a distance if they wanted to. Mostly they stick right around. But I have a turkey that's causing me grief. It's a tom turkey, and he's decided I am not his favorite person. He puts up with the dogs, he puts up with everything, but he does not like me. And he's gone after me a few times. So I've got a couple of dogs that, in their loyalty, while I'm doing chores, are watching my back. Because if I turn my back on this turkey, he's got me. I'm not afraid of him. I just don't want to hurt him because when something goes after you, sometimes you have to defend yourself. So I find myself having turkey wars here. So my dogs, the really loyal ones, which happen to be the cattle dogs, they're always right beside you. I'm finding I'm really enjoying that type of an energy field where I'm really feeling their loyalty, their need to protect me. They're not hurting the turkey, they're just keeping him away from me. So when I turn my back, he doesn't get me. And that's significant for me, and I didn't realize how strong that was until I was doing some research into the Mars Leo thing. So that will impress you. It'll create lasting impressions. And then watch for the impatience. Again, as I said, that fire sign can eat things up really quickly. So we may, as a population, as a species, during this Mars in Leo, feel that there's a drive for us being significant. That could be our country, that could be our city, that could be our family, our personal position. So if I look around, I look at the tolerance of politicians and some of the things that they're looking at. Yeah, I can see that. I can see a strong need to create. I can see a determination to make their statements, their ideas have meaning, and really wanting it to be significant meaning. So I can see us leaning that way. So just remember, with this fire on fire, passions are going to run high and desire will. So that can really affect us in the romance department. So with this energy field of romance and fire, just be careful. Just make sure that you're making good decisions. You're not roaring out there with not too much thought. So just be careful what you're doing and how much risk-taking are you willing to do for some of the pleasures that can be experienced during this time. Also, with that well-defined ambition that this will create for us, that might not be a bad time to look at your career, to look at maybe what you're drawn to as far as hobbies go. Where is it that you want to land? What is it that you'd like in your life? And where would this ambition, if you can ignite it, where would it take you? If you could act with authority and power, and if you had personal magnetism, how would you use it? And so look at that, explore it. How could you make somebody's life better? How could you make your own life better? What changes could you initiate or enact if you had this at your disposal and aware of it? So again, with that romance, just be a little bit careful in that area. Now, the number that was given to us this week is the number 6. Now, that number 6 hasn't come up a whole lot. Number 1 has come up many times, and we have a few numbers that seem to just kind of pop up quite a bit, but number 6 seems to be a little bit shyer in that department. So number 6 usually in numerology offers us choices, so we're going to be given the opportunity to make some choices, and very often it's necessary to make the right choice. It always feels good, but we might have to face some emerging opportunities. So in this field, in this area, if you have one door open, then another door open, then another one, which one are you going to take? So we want to look at that. These choices that number 6 gives us can be very close in payback, so it might be a little bit more difficult to make those choices. And if you can remember that nature always has the answers, nature usually will lean on the side of new and unknown and change. Nothing in nature stays the same. Change is inevitable. So that is usually what is viewed as health, growth, leaning on the side of getting out of the comfort zone, not risky and stupid, but with thought. But nothing ever stays static, and so it needs to be looked at. Health may be a primary focus for many of us, and that's a great thing. Number 6 tries to put that in our focus, give us attention to that. So some of it's the material side of life. Do you have enough money to buy good quality food? Do you have enough money to buy whatever vitamins you need, or to get the care now that we're getting into 2-tier health care? Do you have the money to get the care that you need? The weakness can be in number 6 is hesitation, so that we miss the opportunities. It goes beyond just thinking clearly. Restlessness and intolerance. So we have to beware with this Leo combining with number 6 of excessive desire for perfection and that impatience and irritability that I was talking about. So those are the things to avoid. The beginning of the week, we may have some tummy issues. There may be little bouts of indigestion, or our tummies could be sensitive to maybe that cauliflower crust might give you gas. So we will have some sensitivity, stomach sensitivity. Just be good to your little tummy. That'll be a vulnerable area. Then towards the end of the week, we'll be looking at more heart. If you do have issues with your heart, just really take care of it. Don't push this little organ right now, and listen to it. It may be that it's developing something and it needs a little bit more care than we've been giving it, and so you want to be on top of that. The cards that I pulled for us this week, when I summarize, what we're looking at is they want us to work towards feeling and living an emotionally successful life. Now that sounds mundane, doesn't it? It sounds like, oh yeah, of course. Well, who wouldn't want that? Yes, we might want it, but are we working towards it? Do we know what that feels like for each person individually? Do you even know what happiness is, or feeling what emotional success is? So they want us to become very, very specific in that area, so that we can work towards a goal that can be accomplished. It can be realized, and that's what they want us to do, is realize our potential in this. And what feels better than feeling emotionally successful? Nothing. They're saying to don't lose sight of the big picture by being distracted by the little events. So little events can cause havoc. I know it can, skew how we look at things, but they're asking us to step back, take a moment, breathe, and look at the big picture. Also, they're asking for us to connect even stronger, or consciously try to connect stronger with our guides. There's going to be a little period in here this week where we may feel or get disconnected, kind of like the internet. It wasn't done on purpose, just happened. And I can't even imagine anything so scary as being disconnected from my guides. My gosh, that would be like a moonwalk without a tether. So they're just saying you may have to put a little bit more work into keeping that connection with your guides, your angels, and or however you want to interchange those words and the energy. So that's it for this week, kids. I wish you all the best. I want you to enjoy it the most you can. We're supposed to have some pretty nice weather coming up. And I want to thank sincerely Charlie O'Brien, our digital master. He's got us on Spotify podcasts, on Apple iTunes, Amazon Music Podcasts, SoundCloud, and YouTube. He will give me the link for this week on YouTube. As soon as he gives that to me, I will post that up on Facebook. Also, Charlie O'Brien has archived 4, maybe 5 of the past sessions on my website, www.terriworld.com, if you've missed any, or you just want to refresh and go back and try to find how we built where we are facing now. So that's what we have in store. If you would like a personal reading for yourself, please don't hesitate to give me a call or text 519-726-6699, or you can email me at terri.coutts@gmail.com. Thank you so much for your time and tuning in. I wish you all the best for this week. Take care of each other, okay? Bye for now.
Thanks for listening to Insights with Terri Coots. Visit Terri's website at terriworld.com, TERRI world.com.